Welcome back to What She Said Sports. All right, it is Friday night. All right, so some of y'all might be out and about listening to us. Thank you so much for your support. We got a ghost show plan for you. If you paid attention to the thumbnail, you notice that there's a goat on there. And I basically am asking, or the conversation that we're going to have, was Coach Prime made the scapegoat to deflect from the truth? Now, one of the things that have emerged from the draft or debates, I saw two spirited debates that turned into, if they was in a parking lot, it could have been a fight. Seriously, that's not the first one. Then there was another one on a different show. And then remember the guys I told y'all, Bart Scott from ESPN. Then that was the guy saying y'all need to be fired if you worried about Coach Prime taking your job. So people are pushing back. People are pushing back. Now the NFL knew exactly who Coach Prime was. Remember, he was also not just a Hall of Famer. We see him in the rooms. We know he's friends with them, etc. Right? So now people start to come out with excuses. They're saying Jerry Jones is basically saying, well, we evaluated him. He was good with us. See what's happening? This is happening. It's already happening. It's happening behind the scenes. Now, owners are basically coming out and saying, in certain teams, oh, he was good with us. Pittsburgh, oh, no, he was good with us. I heard somebody else say it. We talked about that. I said, Mike Tomlin was like, the intangibles were good. And they're like, well, why didn't you draft him? Mike Tomlin is a coach. He also has a GM. So they can't put that on Mike Tomlin, right? Tennessee was like, yeah, he was good. It was a short list between Cam, Shedeur, Travis Hunter, and Abdul Carter. That's what the Titans said. So the Titans like, it wasn't us. So that's what's starting to happen. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. And every day, after every minute after Shedeur balled out yesterday, and nobody really cares about today because we saw enough. And it didn't matter that it wasn't with the first stringers. People are saying what? And it's probably going to be one of my topics tomorrow. People are talking about the way the Browns are mishandling Shedeur. What did I say? Shedeur balled out in front of 31 people. So we're going to leave in front of 31 teams. Whether y'all knew that they was watching or not, 31 teams watched Shedeur Sanders ball out. And everything the Titans said, everything the Steelers said, everything, even the Browns said, pre-draft and now, it's true. They messed up in the middle. Dallas like, we good. People saying Philadelphia was going to get him. But then Cleveland heard about it and hopped in the way. I haven't seen any proof of that. I'm going to look into it, though, because I've heard it multiple times, so maybe there's some truth to it. So the blame is starting to begin. And that's good because one man has been blamed for being protective of his son from people who do shit like what we saw in the draft. You think Coach Prime don't know how it goes down on the inside in the NFL? Of course he does. Why they want to emotionally detach and rip apart Coach Prime from his son? Why they want his son not to listen to his dad? What, they want him to waste 4% on a contract that has no incentives? One that you don't get to sit down and look over and negotiate? You really mad about that? No. Just like that's a flimsy excuse. He didn't have an agent. That sounds so ridiculous. Because now, who else didn't have an agent? Let's talk about that. And when you look at a lot of people don't have agents because the contracts are not negotiable. Did Lamar Jackson have an agent? Did Jayden Daniels have an agent? Speaking of Jayden Daniels, if you look at the description of this podcast episode, I asked the question, is the NFL afraid that Shedeur Sanders is prorated like Jayden Daniels? And what are the implications of that? That's going to be a conversation that we have too. And that's also likely one of the reasons Coach Prime was made a scapegoat. People say it's Shedeur, and even Shiloh pointed it out. Shiloh was always an undrafted free agent. Shedeur was a first round draft pick. So when Shiloh looked at Shedeur and said, if this is what they do to you, I know what they're going to do to me. So they cheated him early in the combine. I told y'all I felt like they cheated a lot of people. I'm looking at the screen and my face is covered by the comments, so I don't know what's happening. So, yeah, that's just, y'all's comments on the screen. So, my thing is, Coach Prime is a scapegoat. So I asked the question, but I really could have started it off. Yes, Coach Prime was made the scapegoat. So, but here's the thing. I asked the question because I want to get y'all opinion too. I also asked the poll that we're going to talk about tomorrow when a few more people answer it. But I can already kind of give you a hint. Overwhelmingly, the answer is yes. And that's public perception. That's a sample of public perception. 133 million people watched Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl. I wonder what 133 million people think if you poll each one of them and ask them, was Coach Prime made the scapegoat? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. So the NFL has messed up. The prank was the first sign that they were trying to humiliate him, and that wasn't supposed to come out, right? And that's why you can look at the argument about is Coach Prime being a lie? Because how do you explain the prank? How do you explain the connection to the New York Giants?